My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And hello there, my name is James Maynard, otherwise known as the Songbird.
That's right. And you remembered that, and I forgot. So that just goes to show you. But whatever. I mean, it shows you how old we are. So, anyway, I am so excited to share with you tonight.
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about 5 good reasons for hope.
Oh, God, we need that.
Well, I think that's really an important statement. I think a lot of people are feeling very anxious, very desperate, very scared, very angry, very miserable. Not us, of course. Oh, no. Oh, never. Never, 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 right? Never, never.
Is denial one of the reasons for hope?
Oh, God. No, that is not one of the reasons for hope. So, I want to show you tonight that there are at least 5 good reasons for hope. And I'm saying at least because if I can think of 5, somebody younger than me could probably think of a lot more. But anyway, I just wanted to welcome you to our show. We are so happy to have you. This is Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we are live on Facebook, and this is the Granny Rocks show. So, shall we get started?
Yes.
Okay.
So far, no comments. Of course, there's nothing yet to comment on.
Well, people can always say hello. We always love hellos because that means that you're actually there and that we're actually broadcasting, but I'm very confident tonight. So, first of all, before I get into the 5 good reasons for hope, and there are probably many others, I want to comment on the difference between hope and expectations. See, hope is an attitude of openness to possibilities. Something could happen, something could improve. And expectations is more like, this has got to happen, this has got to, I know this is going to happen, and so it has to happen.
And now we have some comments.
Wonderful.
Nancy says good evening and sends a
Good
couple of hearts. Heart to
evening,
heart.
Nancy. Oh.
And Tracy says hola.
Hola, Tracy.
Hello, Tracy.
Yes.
And Jim says, hello, Lady in Red. Happy Wednesday. My best love to you and James.
Okay,
Always.
wonderful.
He
And
sends
James,
2
always,
hearts of
thank
love.
you. Thank you. Yay. Well, we are so glad that you're here with us and that we are sharing some hope here. And let me get this thing. So you see, I just hoped that it could look better, and it did, at least for the moment. So anyway, do you get the difference? I mean, a lot of people think of hope and expectations similarly or as the same. Like, oh, I just expect things are going to get better. Well, no.
It ain't necessarily so.
It ain't necessarily. Or even how you define getting better, right? So I see another friend.
Oh, Todd says hi there. Gives a big wave and sends love.
Hello there,
Hey,
Todd.
Todd.
So, no, expectations make us very anxious because we sit there and say, is the water boiling yet? Has it happened yet? Have I met my guy yet? Oh my God, I just saw a giant spider on the
Oh, look at
wall.
that.
That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm not afraid because it's up there and I'm down here. Anyway, so expectations can be negative or they can be positive, but in any case, they are not the same as hope. Hope has to do with openness to possibilities.
And Catalina sends a big heart of love.
Oh,
Back at
wonderful.
you, Catalina.
Indeed. So, like tonight, we hoped that all of our audio equipment was going to work, and it appears that it is.
Yes.
But did we expect it to? No.
We cannot
We
do
can.
that.
So expectations really put a lot of stress on us and a lot of stress on others. You know, it's like, I expect you to be like this or like that.
Oh, and we have a big hello from Elizabeth. She sends a heart
Eh,
of love.
thank
and a
you.
wave of hello.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So, why do I think that we have 5 good reasons for hope? In a world which feels pretty hopeless, climate change, polarization, anger, mental illness, people are distressed, inflation, okay.
Aggression.
Oh, aggression, lots of it. Now, the first good reason for hope is it ain't over yet.
Ah.
So, to quote the famous, wasn't it Yogi
Yogi
Berra?
Berra, who said,
It ain't over till it's over.
that's right. A great yogi indeed.
A great yogi. That was a guy in baseball, for those of you who were not alive 100 years ago. So it ain't over yet means you just never know what's around the corner. Now, often it's terrible. You know, you're living your life and suddenly some car hits you and you think, oh no. But you know, good things happen unexpectedly too. So, or good for me, maybe not even good for you, but maybe it's good for me. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this number one, it's not over yet. In sports around the Olympics, there are 2 very obvious examples that I'm aware of, and I'm not hardly aware of sports just because I know it come as a big surprise. I'm not really a sports person myself. I've been disabled all my life. I don't do that. But anyway, Simone Biles, everybody thought she was just going to sweep away the Olympics in gymnastics because she was the greatest ever. And if people had given up hope and they had stopped practicing, then what would have happened?
And Muhammad says, hi.
Hello,
Hello,
Mohammed.
Muhammad.
Good to see you. So, in the case of Simone Biles, she dropped out. It's like the very thing that you thought was going to happen, that she was going to win everything, she wasn't even in the competition, right?
That's right.
So, how unexpected was that? And that happened twice that I am aware of. As I say, I'm not aware of much in sports. The other one was Kamila Valieva, who was this incredible ice skater who ended up being called out on the use of illegal drugs. And she freaked. And she's an incredible skater. I'm not making a comment about, they did find a drug in her system, an illegal substance. And she was so thrown that people who didn't expect to win did. So, are you getting my point? You just never know. And yet people are ready to throw in the towel before the end of the story.
I know that one. I've done that. Jose says, God bless you, Mama and Papa. Music, sends musical notes and keyboard.
Thank you.
Oh, he reminds me of the Mamas and the Papas.
That's right.
We're the Mama and the Papa.
Thank you and welcome, Jose. So.
Oh, here's another one.
Oh.
Muhammad says, I hope you are very well.
Well,
thank you.
I am feeling hopeful. I mean, I can't say that I'm well. I'm never well, but I'm more well than a lot of other people. Like people who are in the hospital with COVID are worse off than I am.
Right.
So anyway, it's not over yet. Now I'm going to give you another 2 more examples of different kind.
Oh, and Todd says, hard to hear James.
Really?
I wonder why that is.
Okay, James.
I tested well. Oh, wait a minute. Something happened to the...
All of a sudden, his thing isn't working. Okay, I'll pull it out and push it back in. Okay, try it again, James.
Testing.
Are you
It's
on?
Off and on. Yeah.
It shouldn't be hard to hear, James.
Hello. Can you plug me into a different place?
No, there is no other place. Just when everything is working, right? I can.
See? We
Yeah,
can't
okay.
expect everything to work, right?
No,
But we
you
can
can't.
always hope.
And
Testing,
now,
testing.
well, now none of mine are working anymore.
Testing.
Have we lost me now? No, it looks like there's still some.
There's still some. Yeah, you're getting some.
Hello. Well,
it's hard to hear me, but you can hear me. But it's, why don't you crank it up? Remind you.
okay. Doing anything now. I wish I hadn't tried to fix it. Okay, there we go.
This one is.
And
Oh,
James.
make it higher.
Okay, let's try it. But I don't think that should be the problem. Okay, let's try it again. James?
Testing, testing, testing.
Testing,
Try
testing,
cranking it up.
testing.
think of that.
I already
Yes.
did crank it up,
Well, it's
James.
only at high noon.
Honey, that's not you. You're
Okay.
over here. And for some reason,
Yeah.
I was hoping that things would work out tonight. But
we couldn't
anyway,
expect it, could we?
Muhammad says, love you together.
Oh,
Okay,
Muhammad, thank
I'm
you.
going to
Bottom
get
of my heart.
closer to James.
Yes.
Okay, so,
So now I can be heard. Yes, I see it.
all right. Well, perfect. So, anyway, here's another example. I kept thinking I would never meet anybody. We can hear him, it's just not as clear as you, but that's fine. We can hear him great because I
Thank you,
don't
Todd.
know.
Thank you.
I don't know what the problem is.
Well, Muhammad says now the sound is very good.
Ooh, excellent. So, thank you, crowd, our group. I don't know what's going on. It's working 1 minute, it's not working the next, but we hope that everyone will understand
So you
us.
were hoping you would meet someone, but
And I didn't, and I didn't, and I didn't. And I was very depressed.
and you were then finally into your mid-60s and you still hadn't met someone.
That's right, in my mid 60s. And then I met,
Along came James.
along came James. I was in my mid 60s, guys. Some people meet people in their 80s. You know, you
Yeah,
just never
yeah.
know. So, but I'll come back to that actually at that point in a minute. But you know what I'm saying? That's
wasn't
personal.
over yet. Life wasn't
No,
over yet.
it wasn't over yet. And I wasn't over yet either. I wasn't going to say, oh, I have wrinkles. I'll never meet anybody. So, next, hearing aids. I think about my grandma who came over from Europe in, 19 something or other, 1910, 1914. She was profoundly deaf, and it got worse and worse over her lifetime. And she had this big hearing aid that didn't work very well. And I don't know what would have happened if she had been around during the time that hearing aids got better. But they did. Hearing aids got better. And so many people now are hearing who would not have had that opportunity at another time. And so you just never know, when some great discovery is going to come. So these are just examples, and we're still on just number one. See? Look at all these good reasons to have hope.
That's right. It's not over yet.
Now, number two is related to number one, but isn't exactly the same. You're not dead yet. Now, how do I know that you are not dead yet? I'm very psychic, right? Because if you're hearing me, you're not dead. I mean, even if you're physically dead, you're obviously not dead if you're hearing me. So one way or another, you are hearing me, you are not dead. So now why I'm mentioning this is, again, you just never know what's going to happen. So every minute you are alive, there's a chance of things changing. Maybe not better, maybe better, maybe worse. But things can change, right? If you're not dead. So why is that an important point? Because there may be somebody out there tonight who feels so desperate that they're considering suicide. And you may feel there's no hope. So I'm not being glib, do what you got to do. But I'm just saying that if you're hearing the sound of my voice, you are not dead yet. And maybe you shouldn't commit suicide because you just never know. This goes on the side over here, honey.
Oh,
Thank you.
excuse me.
You got it? Okay. So, reason number two, you're not dead yet. Number three, you have ideas, genius, resilience. Things can look hopeless, but how do you know that you can't figure it out, or find a way, or do something different. And let me see, I can't see, there it is. Remember what you have lived through before. Some of you were just born into terrible circumstances, or you were in a terrible marriage, or your health was terrible, or it looked like you were born in the Depression, or in a recession. When there were social policies that were really discriminatory, and you somehow found a way, and you may have more resilience than you realize. You know what resilience means? It means you can bounce back, right? So give yourself a moment, everybody, to ask yourself, what have I done that has shown my ideas, my genius, my resilience, that makes you realize that there are aspects of you that are still creative, that are still thinking, that are still possible, right? I mean, the aspects of you aren't possible. I said that in an upside down way, but that the aspects of you that can think of ways of doing things differently, or like move, or get out of a relationship, or go back to school, or stop drinking, or whatever it is, and that you have. So I want you to take a moment, okay, and think about something where you may have felt hopeless before, but as it turns out, it was not hopeless. And oh my God, I have so many examples of that. In fact, I want to tell you about one which is kind of a combination of having ideas, genius, and resilience, and it's not over yet. So I'm still on number 3, but forgive me because I would like to make a little diversion here. So I have been, many of you know, I've been sick all my life, and especially since I'm 15. So when I was pretty young, I had a terrible time working for a living. And I was on disability and all of that. And it wasn't good. And yet I had to make a living. I mean, disability was hard to get or hard to keep. It was a long story. I don't even want to explain it. But so I thought, I am doomed to extreme poverty for all of my life because I was extremely poor and lived in rather difficult circumstances. And I was sick on top of it. And I was trying, but I couldn't work, or I worked for a few hours a day, and that's all I could manage because of my body, because of my health. Well, what do you think happened?
What happened?
When I was 35 years old, really struggling to survive, to make any kind of a living, because I couldn't use my hands very well, or my body. I was weak. My whole body was messed up. I couldn't walk. I couldn't bend, and so on. I suddenly became psychic. I mean, I'm serious. All of a sudden, I knew things that I couldn't possibly have known. And I had a career. I had an entirely new career that I had.
People started coming to you for counseling.
Counseling. I became a counselor. When I said I was psychic, I mean psychic as a counselor. People would come, and I could see into them, and I could see things that were bothering them, and I could help them to become more truthful about themselves and about their real feelings, and a lot of things. It was just amazing, and I discovered that I had powers that I couldn't have imagined, that I could help people feel different and elevate consciousness. And then later on, in my 70s, I discovered that I could play the piano intuitively. I would just tune in, and music came out of me, and I couldn't even play the piano from the time I was 15. And it was another miracle. So, how can I give up hope? And I mean, I had resilience, but I also had miracles. And a miracle is something that I can't explain, or that is just, I don't know how it happened. But I'm grateful for something that was beneficial. And beneficial not only to me, but to everyone around me. See what I mean? So now I have a husband. I have a beautiful piano that I love. I can play for short periods of time. At least I can play. I can intuit music. I've written a lot of books.
You live in a beautiful home.
I live in a beautiful
You
home.
have great friends.
I do. I have a great practice. I have great clients. I do music. I didn't have any of those things until late in life. Late in life, between my mid-60s and now I'm 77, things have gotten better. So, hey, it's not over till it's over, because you never know when the unexpected is going to happen. I mean, and literally, I will also tell you that when I got this power, spiritual power, I had no spirituality, nothing. I knew nothing about it. I heard a voice that said to me, just don't read anything, don't talk to anybody about this, just be a blank slate for me to write on. And that meant that I was listening to that higher consciousness. And I did. I listened and I got trained, and suddenly I was counseling, and nobody trained me. People didn't train me, rather. Something trained me. So it looks like we've got...
Oh, yes. And, well, first of all, Todd says, love that.
Oh, goody. Thank you,
And Amy
Todd.
says, it's so good to be able to join.
All right.
We'll listen to the beginning later.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we're talking about
Amy.
5 good reasons for hope. And I have just gotten through 1, it's not over yet. 2 is you're not dead yet. 3, you have ideas, genius, and resilience. Remember what you have done before. See, to remind you that you have qualities that might help you through something that seems helpless. Now, number 4. Other people exist. I know that's a shocking thought. Other people exist, and they too have ideas, genius, and resilience. In other words, just because you can't solve a problem doesn't mean that nobody can. Think about the people who have made extraordinary contributions to the world. And sometimes that extraordinary contribution is just somebody who knew the right time to hug you, or who knew how to take care of and support people near you. So we tend to be very competitive. Oh, competitive. I want to be the best. I want to be the smartest. No. It's really better not to be the smartest, because if you're the smartest, then everything relies on you. And if you don't know something, which most of us don't know much, it's hopeless, right? But if we remember that there are other people, and they also have ideas and genius and resilience, every day, if I keep my eyes open, I'll read something about somebody who is working on something, or some scientific breakthrough, or people are talking about something or starting projects to help people, and I think, thank God they exist, so that the whole world does not depend on me. So that's a 4th reason for hope. Because there are other people, and there are other people who have ideas and genius. And by genius, I mean they have some genius, some knack, some capacity, a genius in their ability to relate, a genius in their ability to crochet wonderful, warm things for preemie babies. You know what I'm saying? Uh, just something that people have. And isn't that fantastic? Right, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when we're feeling hopeless, it's because we're only relying on ourselves, or we think we have to only rely on ourselves. Dumb. Now, are you ready for 5 good reasons for hope? Number 5. The alternative is giving up, and that destroys everything. We have to have hope because remember, hope is the attitude of openness to possibilities, not expectations that things are going to change the way we want them to or that they're necessarily even going to get better, but just being open because, if we're not open to the possibility that things might change, we will block those things from changing. We'll just be too stuck in our yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so if the alternative to hope is giving up, then we are no longer open. Somebody offers us a real chance, and we say, nah, it won't work. How many of us have seen that in ourselves or in other? Nah, it won't work. It won't work. That won't work. That won't work. That won't work. That won't work. So if you're not open to trying new things, then there is no hope. And that new thing that you try may be a change in attitude. Like, okay, so here I am, I've got all these problems. Now what can I do, even in the face of all these problems? That may be the thing that is the openness to possibilities that I might be able to be happy, even though I have this problem and that problem and the other problem. So, guys, remember, it ain't over till it's over. And remember my examples of the people in sports that we thought for sure were going to win everything at the Olympics, and they ended up not for various reasons. And if all the other competitors had given up, not that I believe in competition, they wouldn't have been in the running, right? And I gave some other examples. Secondly, you're not dead yet, and I know this for a fact, even because if you're hearing my voice, you're probably alive. 3, you have ideas, genius, and resilience. And you may have done great things before, gotten through things that looked unbelievably hopeless. 4, other people exist, and they also have ideas and genius and resilience. And let's look to one another to help change this world and create some greater possibilities. And the 5th is simply that the alternative to hope is giving up. That means you won't get on the elephant that is sitting in your living room asking you to hop aboard. I know that was a crazy example, but this is Granny Rocks, and I am crazy. So this is Granny Rocks, and we broadcast every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and every Thursday night we do Beth Green's magical piano improvisations, where I basically only play the piano. That is Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So join, like the show, love the show, share it with your friends. You think, oh, is there anybody out there that you think needs a reason for hope? Share it with them. Even, oh, Todd says, look at that.
A good kind of crazy.
Yay, that's what we need.
Yeah,
We
that's
need
what we
more
need.
people who have that good kind of crazy, who stay hopeful no matter what. And so share this program with people who need to hear it, even if you think they're going to snarl.
Well, I
Eh.
can remember times in my life when I was living on a shoestring, and there were things I wanted to do, and I had not enough money to do it.
Yes.
Like, for instance, moving from Texas to the West Coast, I didn't have enough money to pay for the gas to get there.
Right.
But I just set sail in my vehicle with a little trailer behind, and money. I was able to earn money along the way, and I made it.
That's right. And
Oh, we
it
got
looks
another one
like
here. Oh, Blanquita says hello,
and
Beth and James, and sends 2 hearts of love.
and Muhammad said, "What is this beautiful poem?" I'm not sure exactly what poem. Hello, Blanquita. Thank you, everybody, and please follow us on Facebook and keep coming back. Mwah, mwah.
Yes. So glad you could join us.
Yes. Thank
Bye bye
you.
for now.
Bye bye.